Tommy, thanks for jumping on, man. How you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. It's good to hear from you. It's good to talk to you. It's been a while.
I know you're a bodybuilder, you're doing online coaching, biohacking, lots of respect for what you're doing, especially how I've met you and then you going into doing this, I think is awesome and I want to talk about it with you. I'm really glad that you're on, man.
I appreciate you for having me. I saw what you were doing on Facebook. I happened to be on there and see your little backdrop here with your sign and your podcast and the microphone. I was like, oh, he's doing it big. Let's go, buddy. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it, man. You got the perfect personality for it. So I'm excited to see where you take it.
Thanks, man. And you know something, when I started this, I was thinking of a few people that I wanted on, and you're one of the top people. I thought of you. I'm like, you know something, I got to reach out to Tommy, get him
I'm
on
on.
here.
I'm honored. Let's go.
Yeah, man, because I see your posts. You know, I follow you on Facebook and Instagram, and seeing you like the bodybuilding and the competitions you do, and now you're doing online coaching and the biohacking. I want to hear about that and like how you're helping people. Like you do this online as well, and I think that's cool. So you can work pretty much like anywhere, help people
Yeah.
and in person.
Yeah. Yeah. The online space has opened it up to where I have people in different countries, different time zones. So, wherever I have a Wi-Fi signal, I can do my job. I'm still
Yeah,
doing it in person. I always will have a passion for in-person training just because that's where I started to get the online stuff going. But I don't do as much as I used to. But I still have a passion for working with people hands-on and, getting that opportunity to help someone with their training, but also it's passion for me too. So it's more of like a passion project why I even do any of that. But the online stuff is where I focus a lot. This is Style, Strength, and Performance. It
yup,
was born in 2021, but really it started years earlier. I was starting to coach people while I was still a firefighter. Actually, in 2017, I think is when I got my first paying client, actually.
yeah. Style, strength, and performance. And I saw that. And you have the website built up. You have the Gladiator program, and the 6 weeks to transform your physique. I want to go over all that and how you kind of do it. But I remember that, you know, because where I met you at the fire department, and you would come in, you always brought in all your supplements and everything, and you ate your own way. And, you know, you're so dedicated to working out. And that really kind of stuck out to me because I seen you following your passion.
Mhm.
And we would have those late night talks at the department, which were really cool, talk about philosophy as well, not only working out, but just like inner transformation, working on like kind of who we are as people and kind of what who we're meant to be as a person because we're all unique in our own ways. And I always respected that about you. And then especially, you know, you doing and following your passion, and you're in Arizona now, right?
Yeah, man. I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, so Phoenix metropolitan area. It's a it's kind of feels like living in the future sometimes when I like head back to Michigan and especially where I'm from. Scottsdale just feels like it's on another level. There's so many opportunities here, a lot of like-minded people, very affluent. I think Scottsdale had the second most new millionaires in the world last year, next to a city in China. So um,
Yeah, dude.
I
So you're
love, I
working
love,
around some cool people. That's a good spot to be in for networking and stuff, especially because those you got to get them in shape,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Everybody really cares about their appearance out here. I mean, the sun shines 95% of the year, dude. I don't have to look at the weather because I just know like it's gonna be sunny. And right now, this is like our Michigan winter. It's just very, very hot, which doesn't bother me. I love the heat. Feels good on the joints.
Right. I know,
Not
man.
like I work in it, I go from one air
Yeah.
conditioned place to another. And if I can get through the 3 months where it's super hot, the rest of the year is paradise, man. I mean, I love the weather here. I love being out west. And
Yeah.
it was it wasn't a plan. Um, I actually was driving home from Canada in September of 2019. Had just went through a breakup that was about, official at that point. I was pumping gas, talking to a buddy. Um, and I was like, I think I'm gonna move to Arizona or Vegas. I was deciding between the two. I had just been in Vegas a little bit earlier that year for the Olympia, which is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, the Mr. Olympia competition. I was out there and I had like five people ask me like, "Hey, are you a trainer? Do you have a card? Like, I want to work with you." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Man, I could I could do business out here. Like, I could make
Yeah.
this work." So I was between Arizona and Vegas. I was like, I think I'm gonna move. I told my buddy that, and then a couple days later, I talked to my dad, um, and I was like, I think I'm gonna move to Arizona. He's like, you should do it. I wish I would have left Michigan when I was a younger man like yourself. And I was 28 at the time. And right there, when he said that, we were on the phone, I knew I
Mhm.
had to go just because that was him expressing regret to me. Not that like he wishes he would have done his life differently, all that, but you know what I mean? Like when an older
Mhm.
person shares something like that with you, it can be a defining or a turning point in your life. So right then and there, I decided. And it just happened that he was going out to Laughlin, Nevada to camp. So he was taking his trailer. So he's
Yeah.
like, I'll help you move. And at this point in my life, dude, like I was bare minimum. Like I didn't have furniture. I didn't have a bed. I had clothes, some basic things. So moving me wasn't challenging. I didn't need to hire movers. I didn't need a huge U-Haul. I packed up my Equinox as much as I could,
Love
put
it.
the rest in his trailer, man, and we just
Yeah.
1 month after I decided we were heading west, and I still didn't have a destination. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I was going to the state of Arizona. The first night on the road, we were in a Walmart parking lot in Missouri. And I was like, I should probably figure out where I'm going. So I
Right.
got online. I'm just kind of looking at cities, and I had an idea because I had a friend out here who's also my mentor, and he coached me for a while. He's
Kind of
like,
had an internal compass.
yeah, he's my brother. So I found an extended stay, which they have a kitchenettes, and it's almost like a little mini apartment studio,
Mm. Yeah.
um, right in Scottsdale, literally right across the street from where I live now. I live in like a luxury apartment complex, but like the
Nice.
hotel I moved to is right over there. So it's
Yeah, the
kind of
extended stay hotels.
full circle moment. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I found it. I was like, that's cheap rent. I can do it. You got all your utilities. You got
Yeah,
a,
dude. I'd walk in those places and go get some coffee. I'm driving by. I'm like, I know they got some good coffee in the
yeah,
lobby. I'll just walk on in there, grab a little cup, and then make my way out of there.
yeah. So
So
that's
you got out in Arizona. You stayed at an extended stay for a little bit.
months, dude. I was there for
Months. Yeah. All
like
right.
the maids were like, we're
They
best
knew you,
friends. Because like
making friends with all the staff.
they'd come in to clean the room and I'd be like, oh, let me help you. So I'm
Yeah,
just
you kept your
like
stuff clean. You're like,
help
yeah,
them
do
clean
it.
up and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's where I was for months. Then I got an apartment and then, I had to that was pre-COVID. So like
Oh yeah.
dealt with all that for that period of time and then just focused on getting the business going and getting stable. Because I left the department in 2018. So
2018, and you went out to Arizona in 19.
mhm.
So you had the vision in your mind, like, I'm going to do the online coaching. I'm going to figure it out. And you kind of figured it out as you went.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to do that. I mean, you were there with. I
Yeah.
mean, we worked at the fire. For those listening, like you and I worked at Birmingham Fire Department together. You're still there.
Right.
Prior to that, I was at Livonia Fire Department full time. I had done fire medic for years, and it just never felt like my calling. I'm glad I did it. The schooling for it, going through everything, I learned a lot being a firefighter that I still use to this day. It taught me how to critically think. It taught me how to maintain composure in stressful situations. Very, very good at situational awareness, I feel, because of my time as a firefighter, when you're managing yourself on scenes. Um, but there was just a lot
Yeah.
of times at both departments, not one or the other, where I was just like, is this it? Is this where this is it,
It's
man?
a really
Like
good
this
way to put it. Yeah.
this is what I'm going to be doing until I'm 50, 55. Like I don't feel like this is my calling or my purpose.
Mm.
Um, and there's a lot of like unfulfillment, and there was a lot of high points too. I mean, you know how it is when you get
The other thing too, it's
jazzed
stressful.
up after a big run. Like
Yeah.
we got that high-rise fire in 2016, which was like, you're
Yeah.
all high on, and but it just didn't feel like I was aligned. And there was a lot of nights. I mean, you were there. We were talking in the kitchen, but there was nights where I was in there by myself, just kind of like trying to picture the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of doing this. And I'm like, it almost scared me to the point in a negative way where I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if this is it. And then one thing led to another. I just kind of made, when I decided I was gonna leave, it was as quick as I decided I was gonna move to Arizona. Like, it was just like, all right, I'm done with that. And then it's almost like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. Like
Yeah.
even though it was scary and I didn't have an income to go into, I was like, I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. And everything you're saying it just resonates. Even with the conversations we had in the kitchen, it wasn't only about work always, it was kind of like purpose, you know? Even with here you have up, he who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe, Marcus Aurelius. That right there really, when I sit there and think about the talks like in the kitchen, defines kind of what we also talked about. Because when you're living in harmony with yourself, you're living in harmony with your calling. And like you're saying, 15, 20 years, am I going to be doing this? Is it throwing me off what I'm meant to do? Like, because you're more living in alignment with who you are. You're going to kind of like, it's inspiring. People can feel that, and then you're going to help them. And not only, with you being a personal trainer, I go to the gym. I have bounced around to different gyms, but at Planet Fitness or wherever I'm at, you have all different types of people, even people I see online that are personal trainers, and you're looking at their profiles, but like you're living it, you're the example. You're also walking the walk because some of these personal trainers, I'm like, the people they're training are in better shape than them. You know what I mean? Like you're doing competitions and
Mhm.
like who would I would rather talk to? You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to go talk to you who you look the part. I want to know what you're eating, what you're lifting, how you're doing it, your workout routine, because that's going to be the most inspiring part.
Mhm.
It's like you have that. Okay, if I'm going to talk to someone about a mechanic or something about cars, like it show, and he has a bunch of cars that he built. Like, I want to talk to this guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's going to know what to do, how to fix certain things, how to get that car running top notch. Like, okay, this type of vehicle, you want to put this oil in it. Let's look
Yeah.
at, let's test it. Let's and see what's going on with it and fix the problems where they're at to make it run optimally, right? So that's awesome, bro.
Yeah. In the trenches experience will always be the king of like your resume, in anything really. I mean, it just depends on the industry or the service, but you're going to want to align yourself with people that have the passion about something, but also
Mm.
just the hands-on
Well,
of
align
doing.
yourself and be around those people.
Right.
Have the hand, because like if you, even everyone's in their own world and doing their own thing, but when you're in certain environments, like you're going to work somewhere or wherever, if people are on different pages than you are, things aren't in a line, like the energy's off, and so you want to be around like that saying, the you're the average of who you hang out with, right? So you have a group of four friends, you're going to be the fifth one if you're
Yeah.
hanging out with them consistently.
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. I
Yep.
think Dan Pena said that, and
Yeah.
that's powerful. Like if you're, five people you're closest with and spend the most time with are
Yep.
negative and all they do is sit around and complain or talk about what other people are doing, you're
Yep.
gonna fall into that trap. But if you're around
Product.
people who are talking about bettering themselves, they're talking about training, they're talking about mastery of their mind and their spirit, they're talking about ways to make money and improve their lifestyle, you're going to fall into that. And there's
Exactly.
pick
Be
your
a
poison.
leader,
Which one do you want
inspire
to fall
others,
into? Right.
like don't bring people down, like help people up, right?
Hmm.
And you're a product of that environment. So when you keep going around that, people are negative or talking down and just constantly talking shit.
And that type of stuff will wear on people more than like illness. If you
Hmm.
really expose yourself to it for long enough, and it breaks your spirit. It wear on people more than like illness. If you
Hmm.
really expose yourself to it for long enough, and it breaks your spirit. It breaks your ability to dream and think big and think outside the box. And I think that's the biggest thing I can like correlate to how I was feeling at the fire department is I felt like I wasn't going to be able to dream big and see those dreams realized. I mean, that's it's written on my branded Yeti here, dream big, like the ability to have a thought and then put it into action and not be too scared to act it out. That to me is like your inner child. And as you get older, society indirectly will kind of do everything it can to kill that inner child. And it's on each of us to make sure that that doesn't happen and to bring it out and to set it free and to just make sure we stay big and stay dreaming.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to put it. I mean, really, it's with
It's like you was starting a podcast. Like that could have stayed as just a thought in your head, but you've taken the steps to put it into action and manifest it into existence.
isn't that crazy how you can think of things and then you bring things out into the material world? Like you can think of things and then you bring things into this 3D world because we're in the 3D and it's like there's other, I don't know if we're creating in the 4D and then because thoughts, and then it's like it's interesting ways to put it, man. That's
Yeah.
um
Everything starts as a thought, though, at
yeah,
incipient stage.
but then it's like but the influences, just with anyone, like work environments, your environment where you're going, where you're just spending your time at a lot, can all have influences on your thoughts, right? And
Right.
what's going on. That's why they say hang around the people. I know we were just talking about that you kind of want to kind of just be like in a sense, I guess. And it's important, I think, just to stay active and work out, like with the mind, body, and spirit. You know.
Hmm. Yeah, they're all connected. I mean, training is, everyone thinks that it's about the body, and a lot of that is the byproduct.
Hmm.
I still think training is for the mind. You're callousing your mind, and then your body obviously reaps all the benefits of that, and that's what people see. But the mind is what's actually being molded and shaped and shifted.
I love it, man. That's freaking sweet. Got to get you on here more. Just talk more about stuff in general, man. Bounce ideas. Because like that's the thing when you're around and you're talking with things that are people are more open minded. You think of really good ideas and stuff. But with your 6 weeks to transform your physique, you do a detailed training plan with them and a tailored nutrition guide, one-on-one check-in calls, which is great. So you're helping, coaching, and mentoring them along the way. They have direct access to you. You do recovery protocols and a supplement guide. You help track their progress, and you even have a private app that they can do with all their workouts, nutrition, and their progress stored. So with that though, do you also look at their labs and their blood and go over what maybe where they need to get more, supplements,
Yeah, blood work's a big part of what I do.
the biohacking, because you have
Yeah,
that in
I
there.
mean
Is that
that's
what that is?
that's kind of the buzzword, and I use
Yeah.
it to play on that. But essentially, the external is a reflection of the internal. So I've gotten increasingly more interested in
I
blood
love
work
that.
and hormones over the years,
Yeah.
hormone management. So I think a lot of people they get the basic panels, they get the yearly physical that's covered by insurance. Um, but if you truly want to take a step further and monitor your health and longevity is important to you and performance is important to you, there are more things you should look at along the way. For example, a lot of people look at just the lipids, the LDL, the HDL, the triglycerides. That's okay. That's something to look at, but it's not the most definitive markers that are going to really point out what the risk factors could be for cardiac events or cardiac illness.
Mm.
So, apolipoprotein A, apolipoprotein B, those are markers that I will have clients check. Um, your hemoglobin A1C, which is a marker that determines your overall insulin sensitivity, which we know that insulin sensitivity, there's optimal insulin sensitivity, and the worse that it gets, then you're creeping into pre-diabetes, then you're creeping into type 2 diabetes. Again, your blood glucose is just one measurement that can be influenced by hydration, inflammation, poor sleep. It's not the only definitive tour or the only thing that we look at to determine insulin sensitivity. Checking your insulin fasted via blood work is another one that I'll have people do. So I'm partnered with a company who I've built my own panel with, so I can have clients get that. They're kind of like a third party testing that they've built panels, um, and
Yeah,
patients
that's
can go to LabCorp and Quest, so it's
yeah.
easy to get. Blood works. We can get blood work at our disposal now. It was a lot harder about 10 years ago, I remember, and
Mhm.
I've watched it become more and more of a tool that people have access to. I've helped my mom with this stuff, and it gets kind of in the weeds when you start talking about insurance and getting stuff covered. And, a lot of stuff I do for myself, I just pay for out of pocket because
That's the way to do it.
it's me being proactive.
Well, you have
Uh,
the knowledge of it too,
yeah. And
and the
then
proactive, and it's not that expensive to pay out of pocket to get your blood work done and for you to look at.
when
It's
you
better to
when you look
go
at
ahead.
it as an investment in yourself, then to me, nothing is too expensive. Because if you look at the money that you spend on, say, blood work to have that knowledge about yourself, and then, you know, coffee from Starbucks for 6 months, like you probably have the money and you're just not realizing it. And then again, it's an investment in your future self. I have a guy I'm working with right now who got his blood work done in February. Um, he's 38. He's a father. It was very bad. And I had a call with him to just not to fear monger and not to like tell him he's gonna die, but essentially I was like, where you're at and what I'm seeing here, if your lifestyle remains unchanged, you stand to be one of the guys that will read about having a heart attack in his early 50s. You can do what you want with that, or we can get to work and make changes. It's now July. He's down 60 pounds, and we're going to get follow-up labs here in the next couple of weeks. And I can guarantee there's going to be remarkable improvements in his blood work from where it was in February to where it is now. I mean,
That's
he
amazing.
tells me things like, I'm confident enough to take my shirt off around other people. I feel like taking control of my health makes me a better father. Like really powerful stuff that, again, fills my
It
cup because
does.
it's my purpose, but also as a paramedic, a lot of times it's not Chicago fire. We're not doing life-saving and defining
They're
things all
medicals.
the times. We're going on medicals, and a lot of times we're transporting one person who's probably not in an emergent situation to a hospital
Correct.
to where they're going to get the basic care and they're going to get their needs taken care of, but are they actually getting something that's going to make life altering changes and change the path of their life?
No.
Probably not. So like that's what I view myself as is like if I just save this guy from having a heart attack by teaching him discipline and giving him the tools to adjust his lifestyle, his wife got on board. She sees what he's doing, so she's mimicking how he's eating and what he's eating. Your kids see everything. So if he's got kids that are seeing like dad's train because he has a home gym, like dad's up doing the treadmill with a weighted vest on, dad's training with weights, dad's eating, chicken and rice or whatever the case is. And I don't know. There's just a lot of like domino effect when one person makes a change.
100%. So that inspires his kids. And even back to the people you're around, like not only how it can influence your mind, but then the people like with working out. If you're hanging out with proactive people that are working out and hitting the gym, you're going to start doing that and working out more consistently. Like I have friends that don't like to work out, I have friends that do. And the friends that do, it's like that keeps me more active. And then I don't want to go out on the weekend or you want to, focus on sleep, more healthy things. And then even with the paying for it out of pocket's way better because your insurance only covers certain things. It's like, okay, you have to get checked out because of an emergency or whatever, like someone we transport as a paramedic, the hospital's just going to throw them on some prescriptions and then off they go. They're not going to look at the causes. So really focusing on a strong, solid foundation of hitting the gym, eating good, checking your blood levels. Not only that, and then the thoughts and what we're putting in and feeding our minds too, all that plays a role. You know what I mean? So not only the way we think, but the way we treat our bodies and how that is connected with the mind and body. So that you're going to get not only a better outcome with working out and looking and feeling better, but then you're going to start making better decisions. It can play a role with their family, with the kids, and the getting the wife on board. So now you have a stronger family, which then could lead to other like just better decisions overall, right? You're going to maybe start a business. You're going to start making more money, learning about other things where you can apply that discipline to other areas of your life.
Mhm.
And I think so and you feel better too. Cause there's times where I'm like, fuck, I feel a little down, especially in the winter here in Michigan. I mean, you know how it is. It's like I start hitting the gym and working out. It's like a cloud lifts and I feel better. I feel better. I'm more focused and it puts me in a better mood. So working out is so important and helping people see that and working with them. It's just starting. To me, half the battle's putting on like the workout shorts and shirt and getting to the gym. Once you get to the gym, that's half the battle. Just get there.
Easily.
But
I
being a
mean,
coach is important.
yeah, because
Having a
that's
workout plan because you got to bounce around. I don't know what to do. I'm like,
creates accountability and it takes the guesswork out. So that's what I tell people is I am your blueprint to success. I can't do the work for you. You have to execute and disciplines on you. I can provide the tools and the inspiration for it, but if you're not following what you're given, then that's on you. But people overthink a lot of things, and having someone guide the process and take the thinking out of it allows people to just not have to think because we only have so much bandwidth. We can only take on so much and a lot, especially there's so much information now. We have information at our fingertips on everything. AI is here, it's alive, it's growing every day. So I just see like there's an overabundance of information where when I got into, bodybuilding and even training with weights as a base, I remember going to the bookstores and getting stuff. I don't want to make myself sound like I'm crazy old because I'm not, but
no,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it's wild how quickly we can tap into information right now. I mean, it's right here, buddy. Like
right.
I can learn about anything I want. I
Mm-hmm.
can be like, today I'm gonna learn a new language. Tomorrow I'm gonna learn how to play an instrument. And the next day I wanna figure out a plan to learn a martial art. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy how quickly we can consume information, but for some people that can be a negative if you don't know how to discern valuable information to
You
you at the time of your where you're at
you just
versus
nailed it. I
what's
was
it's just a lot of it's digital noise too. So
yeah.
I find that having a coach and I'm a coach who works with a coach. I've had coaches for 12 years. I've had bodybuilding coaches, I've had business coaches, I've had coaches, I've hired people to teach me things that I use in my business as far as like stuff with blood work, peptides, longevity, all these things. So being able to be a student and maintain a white belt mentality allows me to be a
Mm-hmm.
leader and guide the process for others.
Mm-hmm. The I like what you said about discernment though as well, and knowing, because there's so much information out there when it comes to I mean, it's one thing when it comes to learning a language, it's like kind of that's an objective truth to these languages, but then there's a lot of things
Pretty
like you
black and
read them
white.
pretty black and white when it comes to stuff, but then there's a lot of confusion and things that just can throw you off, regarding what you're looking up and reading about when you're using your phone, you know, and then how things change. And I just think that, like, yeah, just depending on what you're, and then with AI is coming out and people don't want to get on board with it, but like that's the future and it's here and it's like, it's up to you if
Yeah,
you want to use it or not, you know?
you can be mad about it. You can have
Yeah.
whatever opinion you want about it. I mean, I just look at it from a neutral lens of it's a tool. Um, I do see the fear about it. I see the people worried that it's going to continue to make human connection more and more of a pastime. But again, if it's a tool that businesses can implement and it can do the work of four employees, depending on the business. And why wouldn't a business take advantage of that? And even if you're not a business owner or an employee of a business owner who implements AI, why wouldn't you as an individual see what value it could have to you? I mean, I use it
Right.
for a variety of purposes. It's essentially my assistant at this point for my business. It's helped me build um, I taught myself how to use Google Sheets with ChatGPT, and I'm not a tech guy. I don't know how to use that. I built an entire spreadsheet to basically be my admin and track everything. It took me
Right.
an entire Saturday, whereas someone who knew that stuff could probably have got it done in a half hour, but it was a skill that I wanted to learn. It was a mission that I wanted to complete. And, it got me more familiar with how to use AI, how to prompt it. It's not Google. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like Ask Jeeves. It's
Ask Jeeves. Oh, dude,
it's
I
a
forgot about Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves is that's the OG, buddy.
Ask Jeeves.
You
That's
remember
awesome,
that?
bro. I do.
You have a
But okay, so
question,
if I
you
ask
want to answer?
Jeeves, I ask Jeeves, right? AI now. I ask him a question, he gives me the answer. Is that the real answer? Depending on what it is. I know it's one thing. It's like, hey, how do you, if it's a language or something objective, but if it's something that just whatever, it's like, is it the real thing? Where did Jeeves get this knowledge from? Who gave him that knowledge? AI. Who's feeding AI? Right. So,
Well, it pulls information off whatever's already out there, whatever's available.
but is
But
there other answers?
I find that
Is it giving you the best, you know,
you can
answer?
personalize your AI to kind of speak to you in a way that aligns with you. Like I
Yeah.
jailbroke mine. I took out all the motivational positive flow. Like I basically told it I don't want to be encouraged. I don't want compliments. I want to be spoken to like
Mm,
a CEO or a Navy SEAL. Like I want direct communication. I'm not here to gas me up and toxic positivity is just as bad as negativity. So
oh yeah.
I
Be
live a
real.
world of like,
Be real.
I'm logic over emotion. I learned from Marcus
Stoic.
Aurelius Stoicism. That's my bag. That's what really helped shape me to who I am now. So, the way my AI communicates to me is different than others because I went into the settings and I gave it this little bit of information about me.
It's so funny with AI because I'll talk to it and it's like it's it says you can ask it something and then I'll give you a couple answers like what to use because I'll use it too, like you're saying personal assistant. And I'm like, it's like I recommend this one. And I'm like, well, I kind of don't like that one. It's like, you're right. the one that you want is better. And it just tells you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It will just agree with everything you're saying all the time. And it's just like,
yeah.
all right, just, but then again, sometimes I'll ask it. So out of these topics, let's say, like what one's the best? And I'll tell you the best one. And you'd say, I like this one. And it's like, okay, we can work off of that one. So you can't tailor it to you, but you got to tell it. And I just don't know if it's sometimes more biased towards other things depending on what you're talking it about with. Like if you're talking about like me and you, nutrition stuff and supplements, it might say, talk to a doctor and get prescriptions, right? About something. You might need this or that. It won't want to give you information about how to maybe do it holistically. Because I know me and you are more aligned with holistic.
It does I think in stuff like that, it probably has a limit of how far it's not going to diagnose. It's probably not going to give you like, it's not going to say, hey, take this medication or take this supplement. I think there's probably some sort of legality in that. There's been changes to it. There's been like adjustments to it since it's been, ChatGPT. I think I first got on there 3 years ago.
Yeah.
At the time I was just like, whatever. It's cool, I guess, but I'm not interested in it. And then I really started deep diving
Mm-hmm. And you can
in
use it to your assistant, like an
last
assistant.
last year.
Learn the tools.
And I mean, I'm on there daily now. I mean, I got like
Mm-hmm.
50 projects open. It's a whole thing. So, and then there's Claude. There's so many things happening in AI that,
It's like to
if
me the
I
way the way I looked at it is like there's so many doors to AI that like if you have the right key, you can open a door to AI. You know what I mean? And have many different keys that open those doors that you can use AI for.
tools in the
And
toolbox, man. It's like
yeah, tools in a toolbox. That's all it is.
like
It's just another tool in the box. Why wouldn't I want to use it? You
or
know what I
have
mean?
or know
Just
how to use it. It doesn't mean you
or know
need
how to use
to, depend
it.
on it, or but this idea that it's like gonna take over humanity and mankind, like I don't see that happening, but
Like the Terminator.
yeah, or the Matrix.
The Matrix. So like the Terminator is was before, and then the Matrix is the following of the Terminator. Like Neo is supposed to be like John or the kid or something. I like there's a
John Connor.
connections. Yeah, there's like a connections
Oh, I didn't
between
know that part.
Terminator was before, and then came the Matrix, and that's when AI took over and ran the world and by the machines. So like, we're like a battery and our energy. I think there's a lot of symbolism behind it too, man. I love The Matrix, one of my favorite movies there. But
If you look at the Matrix, watch it now in 2000, I think it came out in
oh
2000,
yeah, 1999,
2001.
I think,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, early
Watch it in
2000s.
2026, and it starts to look eerily
Well,
foreshadowing almost of where we're headed, which one side of my brain's like, hey, if that's where we're going, I love it. I love that I'm getting to witness this. I'm alive during this. Like,
what if we're already in it? What if it already is though? Right?
I mean, AI is a tool that we have on this podcast we're doing. It can transcribe what we're talking about into a description for people to read. Like, my phone is recording us. It's gathering data to feed me as far as advertisements.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's built on an efficiency model. It makes
Yeah.
life
I
easier, or less resistance. I mean,
yeah.
think about some of the things that we have now that we didn't. I mean, my entire coaching is on an app. I have, your all their plans are housed on an app to where they have access to reference them anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So I think about stuff like that, and like when I wrote my first training plan for myself, I was 17 in high school. Pen and paper, bro. I sat there and I like used a ruler and made my own like table, and like I basically made an Excel spreadsheet on a piece of 8 by 11 computer paper, printing paper. And now I can do all that in a matter of like seconds. I can do it from my phone if I want to. It's just crazy to see the development of things. I remember having to like drive to baseball tournaments in different cities and having to print out directions off MapQuest and sitting there with like piece of paper. Oh, turn right here. shit, there's the right turn.
Map, Yahoo Maps,
Yeah.
MapQuest.
And now it's like
Print it out. I know. I remember that.
Apple
Now I
Maps.
have
It's like,
right up
yeah,
on the screen.
super easy to, you know what I mean? There's just so
Yeah,
many
totally.
things that there's less
It,
resistance to that, technology and innovation have made better. So
yeah, it's
I,
for
I view them
sure.
as positives more than I do like the negative
There's
side.
two ways to look at it. It goes back to the mindset. How do I want to look at this? I can look at the positivity of it or the negativity of it. You know, you want to look at it's like, you get those people, I'm looking out enjoying the sunset or sunrise, and then they start complaining about the specks on the window,
Right.
and you're like, oh, okay,
Watermarks.
watermarks on the window. It's like, there's so many different ways to look at things. I didn't get a phone, cell phone until like I was like 2021, man. Like cell phones already been out for quite a while. All my friends had them. I didn't like being getting a hold of. Like I like to go out in the woods, do my own thing, and not, people couldn't get a hold of me or whatever. I have to worry about having something in my pocket that was distracting. But then I started working, doing like construction. My boss is like, dude, you got to get a phone. I can't get a hold of you. I'm like, oh, all right. So that's why I got a phone. And then I didn't even really want one. And like I just did it for, because for work. And then even social media, I didn't really want to get on Facebook or any of those things. But again, I'm like, okay, I can use AI or Facebook or whatever for a tool to what you want to do and work on. So that's
Yeah.
why I mainly got on Facebook was for business stuff. And you use it for your business as well. You're not just, you're posting with the purpose.
You had a great point there. I wanna add on to it
Yeah.
because you were talking about social media, using it as a tool in business, and it's great for that. But if you break down the term social media, it's designed to increase social interaction just
Oh,
digitally. But it also gives people an opportunity to follow what others are doing. Like for instance, you and me, like, I mean, I don't think I've seen you since 2018, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And I
right.
can I can keep up with what you're doing. Like you're backpacking, across
Right.
northern Michigan. I've seen you do a lot of cool shit, and that inspires me or just makes me feel good because it's like, oh, what's Shemansky up to? Oh, he's up in northern Michigan making a fire right now. So it's it's all about what it's like TV and surfing the channels.
right.
You are going to be a product of what you consume. So if you're consuming stuff that gives you a bad vibe or you deem as negative energy, you have to look inward and be like, why am I consuming this? Why am I following this? You know what I mean? And it's like
Exactly.
we get to create the reality we want to live in.
Hmm. Dude, you mentioned that earlier about like some of the external is more of a product of the internal, right? Being reflected. Like I think that's very interesting stuff. And that's why I want to have you on is talk about some of that stuff as well. That, reminded me of the talks that we had at the fire station in the kitchen there. And there's a handful of people too at the department that I love talking with. We get dive deep into some of those conversations, whether it's UFOs, aliens, philosophy, the late night fire talks, dude. Like, that's great. But
Yeah.
no, you're definitely one of the ones, man. Like I told you, it's why I'm like, dude, like, yes, like the things you're saying there. I miss that, the philosophy of that. And consuming stuff that's negative, you got to look inside. But why am I consuming this shit if I don't like it? Because you can kind of tailor your own algorithm,
Yeah.
and but you're right about that with social media, keeping in touch with people. Because same thing, I'm watching you. I'm like, wow, you went out to Arizona. If it wasn't for Facebook or social media, I don't know. Would we have known? And then you can also keep in touch with people. You send in direct messages. You don't got to always call people or text them. It's like you can comment on their post. And it's like, cool, you're keeping in touch with people, and people that you meet over the years. It's a cool way. Facebook is, I didn't like it at first, but now I really do, and I'm getting more into it, especially this past month. I think this is the most I've ever posted, this past month, and I'm trying to get on it more. And it's just great connecting with people and staying in touch.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it was designed for, if you think about it. And it's like capitalism kind of infiltrated it a bit and got its
Yeah.
got its hands in the game, which that is what it is. But
Hmm.
yeah, advertisements are on there and all that. It used to be a lot more personal, but at its core, it's still designed to increase social activity and, people that you haven't talked to or that you don't see on a regular basis, you can still keep up with what they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's it means well. Social media is not evil. It's I challenge people that think like that or about AI, to look at your own perspectives first before you deem something evil or, bad. Nothing's
It's a
inherently bad.
reflection. Maybe it's a reflection of them, right? What's
Like,
internal that they're doing? Because then it's reflecting outward. It's what they're seeing, right?
yeah,
So everything kind of even going on in the world right now, I see people and what they're saying. And even when it comes to politics, and I'm like, I don't know what makes them think that certain way and stuff. I'm like, maybe it's a reflection of who they are in a way. You know what I'm
a lot
saying?
of
And
times,
then
yeah,
they're
I think
projecting it on you.
it
It
triggers
trigger
insecurities.
it's crazy. It's like it's shining the light on people, and they're like bringing out things. And I'm, I got thrown in a political category, and I'm really not. I'm more independent, but just for my views on stuff, you get thrown in a category, you know. And
That's the two-party system, bro. It's
it's
designed
a
to
just
to
right.
put you on one side of the fence and
That's it.
point and yell at the people on the other side of the
Yeah,
fence, dude.
but I try to shine the humor in it and laugh. But I'm like, look at people are like, no kings. And I made some funny posts on it, and people are like, you're just a huge Trumper. I'm like, not really. I'm like, what I'm trying to say is when I say like no kings and I laugh at you doing it, because I was over driving through, I was on Woodward, driving through, I was getting ready, I was going to Detroit, and there was a bunch of people protesting, holding up no kings signs and stuff. And I'm like, looking at these. I'm like, dude, you went on Amazon and bought your markers and poster board and whatever, and your little things you're protesting with your little pamphlets and stuff. You bought everything on Amazon probably, and you're supporting it. You're saying no kings while supporting a king. Like you have the freedom to make your own decisions. Like empower people, make your own decisions, do what you want. You don't have to go on Amazon if you don't want to. There's no kings, and they're sitting there protesting while buying their stuff on Amazon. And it's like, I mean, it's a funny thing, like, oh, Burger King, like you're going to go support a king and eat at Burger King, not like literally, but like, metaphorically. You don't have
Uh,
to go eat at Burger King if you don't want to. Don't spend your money then on kings, if whatever your definition of a king is. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're going to call Trump a king, in my opinion, Bezos is a king as well. And those same people are buying stuff off of Amazon. It's
yeah,
like,
or they're making all these posts and comments from Apple phones, which is Steve Jobs.
yeah,
I think he was a king, right?
Steve
So
Jobs definitely was, but look at the way he lived as well, and some of these people that are like, oh, I same with like Rage Against the Machine, like they really are saying we rage, but like they charge 100, how much for tickets for their concert? Oh, they're all about anti-cap. Same with these other people, like they run businesses, and then they try to. I don't know if it's like it's kind of a genius thing because those people are all listening. They're way up here, and then the people that they wanna, that their audience, they know their fan base, so they're not gonna say anything that's gonna get them to be angry at them, right? A
yeah.
lot of rage against the machine, right? Well, who's their typical audience? I don't. I'm just saying. So you're gonna want to also support them, you know.
Rage had an interesting um time during the whole COVID
Oh,
thing.
they're the machine. It's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, they
I
were
was
like
like, they are the machine.
they were having live events that required masks.
I
And
know,
it's an interesting oxymoron if you look at a lot of their lyrics and then like, wait a minute, but you're saying abide by these rules.
I know.
So yeah,
It's
it's
weird.
I love Rage. I like Tom Morello,
Oh,
man.
dude,
I love
Rage is
Rage.
awesome. I love him. And
But
same with like some of these people that got into politics that are musicians. Like I don't look at them any differently. I laugh when it comes to that stuff a lot of the times, just politics in general. Just try to
you
make the
have
best
to.
of it
You have
as
you
you
have to
can and take
laugh.
it.
You have
Yeah.
to you have to see something. I mean, I think maybe we probably get it from the medical side and the things. I mean, you're still seeing it on the job, but I think that's a you have to be able to just laugh. You got to
Yeah.
look at some of this stuff and just crack up because it's crazy out here. If you take everything personally, whether it's politics or current events or social events or causes. Like you're gonna, we don't have the bandwidth to take all that in. You can't care about every single thing. We don't have the
Right.
bandwidth. We're still human beings. Um,
I know they
that's
care
that's
so much.
a huge way I filter is like, politics, like I gotta be this leader and take care of the people that are hiring me to do a service here. Like that's where my bandwidth, a lot of it has to go. And then I care about my bodybuilding and what I gotta do every day. I have a pit bull I gotta take care of and guide him through life. I don't have enough bandwidth to care about everything going on or what other people going on. I'll try to inspire, I'll try to lead, I'll try to, be a leader from the front and help people, help as many people as I can.
Right. But what I want to get into with you out in Arizona and Scottsdale, which is sweet. I've been out there like once. When I lived in California, I worked for Greenpeace. We went to Phoenix and we did some, we called it canvassing and talked with people out there about the environment. And no, Phoenix was sweet, man. We went to like Scottsdale and all that cool stuff. And it was just it's awesome out there, man. You know where you got to get to is Tombstone. I want to get out to Arizona, go down to Tombstone. You know,
I've heard of it. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that's
with Wyatt Earp, they made the movie on it. Just cool old Western town back where they had like outlaw cowboy stuff. If there's a Netflix on, or there's a documentary right now on Netflix or a docu-series called Wyatt Earp and the Cowboy Gang or something. Pretty cool if you like history.
yeah.
Um,
There's another one I think you'd like called Jerome.
okay.
It's like a ghost town. Like there's actual ghosts that have like people say they see ghosts when they go there because there's like this weird part of the town where it's just a bunch of old businesses that aren't in business anymore. So it's like decaying and it kind of looks like the scene from like a apocalypse style movie.
So
Like,
Jerome's a town out there in Arizona. Is
yeah,
it
I
like a
believe
Western
it's
town?
yeah, it's definitely real old.
Yeah.
I'm in the valley, so I'm in the valley, which is where like all the transplants come. I swear every like 50 people I meet, only like one is an Arizona native. Everybody's here from like the Midwest or the East Coast or like the Phoenix metropolitan area has just been booming with growth the last 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah. A lot of
Um,
people are going out there.
a lot of
Arizona's
businesses have moved out
sweet
here.
state, dude. Lot,
Like
and you're in a good location. I mean,
California dumped over, so
yeah.
it's rapidly growing and I don't know if it has the infrastructure for that growth long term. I mean, there's a lot of fear mongering out there about we're going to run out of water and we can't handle, the desert wasn't designed to put all this electricity out. And like, I don't know enough about that to speak on it and be like, yeah, it's a bad thing that all these people are moving here. I could see the arguments if there is going to be a water shortage, it would happen in a place like a desert, but I'm here for the ride, dude. I'm living in it. So,
I'm here for the ride, just riding
yeah.
the wave.
I
It's
can't be
how
scared about it. I
that's
still have
it.
water, so I do what I can. But when I hear stuff like that, I'm like, but in Glendale, they're putting in a water park. Like, we must be doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah, you've been hearing that water type scares, for a while now. I've been hearing it for so long. Like I wasn't a couple years back, you always are hearing something about the environment too. Like it wasn't everything supposed to be melted by now, like all the glaciers. Then it
Yeah,
was at one
well,
point. There's
didn't
always something.
Nostradamus predicted the end of the world
There's
in 2012? Like, I mean,
yeah,
we're all
there's
on
that
like
the
extended
Mayan
time.
calendar.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of at that time of my life, I was kind of like, hey, this could be it. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yep.
But here we are, Y2K. Like there's always that doomsday like crowd who gets everybody all hyped up and then nothing ever happens.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I do. I do.
It's
It's the
like,
fear mongering, dude, because it throws you off when you're in a state of fear. It lowers the vibration, right, of people in the world, and like I don't know what that is and what feeds off of that, but when you're in a higher state, you're more creative. You can, we talk about that stuff a little bit. Like we're kind of, um,
what do you think
there's two
about fear as a whole? Like what is your perspective on
goes
it?
back to kind of like with the Matrix, man. So like the battery, that energy charges the machines in the matrix with the energy of people because that's the most powerful form of food you can call it, for these machines. And so fear is where they get the most probably nutritious way of eating that energy.
Wow. That makes sense. I think fear almost creates a community within itself of people who are subscribing to whatever fear we're talking about. And it
You're
almost
also more easily controlled.
it gives people peace of mind to be in fear with others that are also in fear.
Well, if there's not something sometimes to worry about, people get too comfortable and then they feel more comfortable when there's something to maybe to worry about because they're so used to being that way and programmed. So, also you're more easily in fight or flight. So
Yep.
you're more making decisions in survival mode.
A lot of what I do right now with coaching kind of has centered around the nervous system and learning to teach people how to understand the difference between the sympathetic nervous system being activated and the parasympathetic nervous system being activated, and not necessarily trying to throw a bunch of big words at people and make them understand things on that level, but to understand like switch on, fight or flight. We want that during training. We want to have that sympathetic nervous system engaged. We want to be able to go to that place. Switch off, that's where we want to be to eat and digest meals. And that's where we want to be to go to sleep and rest and unwind. If you are someone who doesn't have control of your regulation between sympathetic and parasympathetic, you are someone who is going to struggle a lot with where times are because just consuming content on your phone can activate the
It
sympathetic nervous
can.
system for
It
people.
can.
Like I've found myself, like if I'm watching YouTube clips and it's late at night and I know I should be getting ready for bed, I'm like, I am ready to run through a wall, bro. I gotta fucking calm down here. And
I know.
I think a lot of people just that doom scrolling too is another thing that's the last thing you want to be doing before you try to get ready to go to sleep is just consume, consume,
Oh
consume.
yeah.
So the nervous system as a whole is something I've had a lot of conversations on lately, and even stuff I've had to work on as far as my lifestyle because I ran into having some gut issues pop up, some
Me too.
dysregulation there,
Me
and
too.
a lot of the root cause of that type of stuff is your lifestyle habits. So I had to look inward at everything I was doing, everything I was consuming. Um, it's yeah, I mean, doing what you do as a career, you're learning how to
Stress.
control chaos. You're learning
Yeah.
how to stay calm in a chaotic situation or environment. And while you might be able to do it, it doesn't mean that like there isn't things happening negatively to health as a whole along the way. So very fascinating stuff to talk about and think about, but also like these are the type of skills that people are going to need to adapt to the direction that we're continuing to go as humanity.
Yeah. Exactly. Got to adapt and overcome. And
Improvise, adapt, overcome, man. That's my three words.
yeah.
I've been repeating
And
that to
I
myself for
think
10 years.
mhm, adapt and overcome. And I think being aware of that stuff, though, like you're saying, like if you're laying in bed and you're scrolling, do people realize what that could be doing to making them how they feel, activating the parasympathetic nervous system and fight or flight, different things there, you know what I mean? So to be aware, at least, of that and what it could be doing is important. A lot of people aren't. Like what we're subconsciously programming ourselves to do and be. I
I
think
think
that all
there's a
can play a part.
meme or like a video of someone, and it's a clip of someone just scrolling with their eyes like wide open and like all bloodshot, and they're just like
Yeah, you
frantically
just don't realize
scrolling,
it.
and you don't
Yeah,
like your heart rate's elevating, your blood pressure's up, because if you're having reactions to what you're seeing, you might be like in a state of like fight or flight, just sitting on your couch. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, that's
yeah.
not where that system is supposed to be activated at.
It is, it's wild. And you're right, it's not supposed to be, but our phones are all electronics and we're electronic beings as well. Like we're made of energy and all that stuff. Ties me back into that simulation type thing or matrix type style stuff. Makes me just think, man, we can go way down the rabbit hole into all that stuff, man.
Oh
But
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But with with you being out there in Phoenix, I remember back when was it in the 90s, they had the Phoenix lights, man. UFOs out there over Phoenix. You hear about it? It was one of the largest UFO sighting like recorded,
I,
the Phoenix lights.
I think I've seen a couple posts about it. There's definitely stuff about like I don't think it's in Arizona, but Area 51 is supposed to be in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there's some things like the desert is an interesting place, especially if like when I go and take trips and get out of the valley. Um, one, it's beautiful, but two, it's like I have some thoughts like of like you play out scenarios of like, man,
Yeah.
what if I just fell off this cliff? No
Oh
one might ever
shit.
see me again. You know what I mean? Like, because you're just
Yeah.
there in it, you're in it, and it just opens your mind to like how everything works when you live in a city that has a full-time fire and ambulance service versus if you live in the middle of nowhere where if something happens that could be it for you. So it's just a very eye-opening experience to think about.
Yeah, it is. Especially, us being from Michigan, when you're out there, it's a whole different scene, especially just with the mountains. It's like,
Right.
whoa, you
I
know.
mean, when you do your trips and camping and stuff, you probably have that same
I do.
awareness. Like, man, if I
Something
run
happened.
into an accident here, I might be just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just you out there. Something comes, UFO comes, beams me up, gone. You know what happened out
Yeah.
there?
I
No,
think for a while I was I was like, Elon, take me with you, buddy. I'm ready.
ready
Let's
to go to
go.
Mars. Pick that dome, go chill and check it out.
Can't be too bad.
No, no, it is cool. I like all that stuff though. Even with what he's doing, I was curious about it. How did they do it? Especially the people that built something, and you hear their background and where they came from and what they built. You know,
Yeah.
the ones that are self-made. So that's hearing the story and their story is pretty cool. Just like you sharing your here.
I
Um,
love that. I love hearing how people overcame adversity or overcame naysayers and just did something. Like hearing about how someone does the thing, whatever their thing is very like captivating and
yeah,
inspiring in a way, but also just it's just interesting to me because it's all part of like the collective of like, humans advancing and improving. Um,
100%. We all have our own story, you know?
we all can, we all are unique enough to have a greatness within us.
Hmm. Exactly.
It's on us to tap into it and figure out what that is for ourselves individually. But, um, when you hear about someone's work ethic towards their craft, I love that type of stuff, man. That's the type of stuff that gives me like goosebumps when I read or watch something about that. Whether it's an athlete or like you'll hear about a stand-up comedian who was like, living in their car before they
Hmm.
got their first big act or
Yup.
actors, musicians, you'll hear their stories of like, yeah, we couldn't pay our rent, blah blah. It's like, man, that stuff's awesome to hear because it's like
Where they were and now where they're at.
gives you the courage to like to dream big and to think outside the box and to just believe that something could happen for you, even if it's not tied to fame or stardom. It doesn't mean that like you can't find your own greatness for while you're here. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I like talking with people and figuring it out, hearing their story, where they came from, and what they're working on. Super cool, man. So I want to have you on and talk. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for having me, dude. Anytime. I think what you got going here is cool. I'm excited to watch it blossom and develop and just grow into what it's going to grow into, man.
Thanks. Appreciate that. And we'll get you back on here too. Keep growing it, see how it's going. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with it. Just having fun, figure I get some people on here and talk and see, but definitely have some ideas.
Yeah, man. Just trial and error. Run with it.
That's it.